Good morning and welcome to Lisa Lovestone's Mushroom Matcha Morning and Bedhead Musing. Bedhead Musings. Cheers. So, what's going on? I've not been doing my Bedhead Musings like I usually do. Well, I just, I do them when I can. I do it when I can. So, where do I begin? So my son lives near San Francisco, and he says that, yes, ICE is there. ICE is grabbing people from all different places and just grabbing them and putting them in trucks and taking off with them without any due process, without any, with no search warrant, which is what they're supposed to do legally, no due process. They're just grabbing people. So it's not just LA, it's San Francisco too. So I'm kind of scared for my son's fiancé because she could pass possibly maybe as a Mexican. I mean, a lot of us look alike because we're all from source. We're all related. We're all part of the one, the highest. So she's part German and part Jordanian, not Jordan. Jordan? I think it might be Jordan. Jordanian? Anyway, so she yeah, it's not funny. And the people who voted for that broken, disturbed person, frumpy, you weren't really paying attention to what he was saying in between the lines, were you? And if you were, you're one of those white supremacists that hates anybody who's not white. One of my clients, their daughter and son-in-law are just sold their house. They both have brown skin. They just sold their house. They're moving to the Philippines because they just had a baby and they're scared. And they live in the DC area. And it's happening there too. So they sold their house and they're moving. They're leaving. He's an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter where he lives. He can live anywhere. So he's going to move to the Philippines because she is part Filipino and she has dual citizenship. So they're going there because they don't feel safe in their own country where they were born. So I am thinking of my son and his fiancé. I mean, it's not going to matter that she's a Christian and that she works with children and she's a good person, a beautiful person. That's not going to matter to ICE. They're just going to see the color of her skin. That's all they're going to see, and the color of her hair. So the archangels are protecting them both. My son doesn't need to worry. He's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, tall and handsome. You know, you can't tell he's got Native American in him by looking at him. He fits the part for white supremacy. He's, you know, he's gorgeous, he's tall, he's handsome, blue, beautiful blue eyes, sandy blonde hair. He doesn't need to worry, but what he does need to worry about is protecting the woman he loves, and that could get him in trouble. He's in the army. These people probably aren't military. They probably aren't even trained. They're probably just good old boys that Trump has authorized to harass people and put them in jails and prison and take them south. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. And I don't know, like, I know that Frumpy won't be president for his entire 4 years. But how much harm is going to happen? How much damage is going to happen before he's no longer president? What does my thing say? Make today amazing. Make today amazing. It is a beautiful day. We have had gray skies, cloud, humidity in the 60s and 70% during the day, 90 to 100% at night. It's been awful. My pain, my physical pain is just, that's been a big part of it, is my physical pain. It slows me down. It slows me down. It puts me in a schlumpy kind of mindset. I need to give myself some self-Reiki. But this humidity, I just need it to go away. You know, up north in Northern California, there's humidity as well. And the temperatures are cool because they're up in the mountains. So I'd have to go down to the beach and go south a little bit to get those warm, sunny vibes. So I haven't seen Will. I mean, I guess we're friends. I don't really fucking know. Everything was going great, and then I asked him, you know, I did my 30-day check-in with him, and he was very, like, cryptic. Sorry, I don't do cryptic. But it brought me a little bit of sadness, you know, because you know, I guess it was just fun to have a guy to hang out with. But now that he's got his dog, he doesn't have the freedom to take off and leave. And I mentioned that before. And that's the thing. I said something about if you get a dog, how are you going to, if our relationship progresses, how are you going to spend the night with me at my house if you have a dog at home? And he said, well, the dog can be left at home overnight. No, it can't. It's a puppy. Not unless you stick it in a cage and it's going to probably eat the fucking cage. It's a puppy. But he was determined to have a dog. So I'm glad that the dog has been rescued and has a home. That makes me happy. But, when I said, what about spending the night with me? He continued in the conversation as if he was planning to do that. And then on our walk, he's like, well, I hope I haven't misled you. Yeah, you did. You absolutely did. So next time I see him, I will tell him that. But I was, like with almost all of my relationships, I had one foot in the door and one foot out the door, because that's how I roll. I need to know that when I'm coming in the doorway that I'm safe. I have to know that. I have to know I'm safe. And you have to provide that for me. I have to know you're not going to shit all over me. That you're not going to lie to me. You're not going to cheat. You're not going to treat me less than what I deserve. So if anybody wants me to have both feet in the door, they're going to have to provide that. And that's not too big of an ask. People just jump in and then they get hurt and then they're upset. Well, take your fucking time, man. I'm not going to get paid to tell you this, but because I'm a nice person, this stuff, as you know, if you've been following me, I've been trying to grow my nails. I bit a nail last night and it hurts. Look how bad I bit it. Yeah. But I have never had long nails, and I've got some long nails now. If you take this cream, my nails have never been long and they don't know how to be long. And they try to split. So I rub this in. When I'm sitting, which is usually in the evening, not in the morning, I just rub that in. And it soaks into the nail bed. And then that splitting that's trying to happen, it hasn't happened yet. And all those lines, like on this fingernail, there was a really deep line that really looked like it was going to split. Well, it's literally going away because I left this stuff at home and I was pet sitting, so I wasn't home. And without this stuff, my nails were starting to get dry and the lines were really showing up. So see, this had a really bad line in it. And now it's just coming together and it's not splitting. So this thumbnail, I bit it. It was really long and I bit it. I bit part of it off. That was about a week and a half ago. I'm also taking biotin, but I typically don't take the biotin with me when I'm pet sitting, so, and I could and I should. It's some stuff that goes under your tongue. So yeah, I have some nice long nails and I have some short nails. And it looks like a train wreck in a sense. So, Bedhead Musings, that's what this is, right? Do I have anything uplifting and encouraging to say? Well, I mean, every psychic, every person that's channeling aliens or angels or Christ, they're all saying the same thing, that Frumpy will not do the entire 4 years. And so the trajectory has not changed that he won't do it, but the trajectory has changed because of, you know, free will. The trajectory has changed where I thought something was going to happen to him in 2026, but now it appears it's going to happen in 2027. 2026 is still a possibility if he's doing enough damage, which I feel like the damage he's done is enough. But I think that he's either going to have a stroke or a heart attack. And I think he's going to try to nuke somebody. And I think that's like, he might try to nuke California from Washington, D.C. or something. I don't know. But when that happens, he'll be stopped. He will be stopped. Okay, so all my nails are done. I have a lot to do and I don't want to do it. The humidity has got me so tired. My knee hurts. So every 6 months I get an injection in my knee. I get one of two things. It's called Euflexa or Synvisc. They come from a rooster's coxcomb. So they inject the serum into the knee joint. It's about that long of a needle that goes into the joint. And it's a painful, especially if you have all the inflammation, which I do because it's humid, it hurts a lot. Then it brings a lot of relief, and it happens in a series of 3. So if I have the injection on Tuesday, the 10th of June, then I would have the injection on Tuesday, the 17th of June. And then I would have the injection on Tuesday, the 24th of June, and then I would be done. And then I wouldn't need to do it for 6 months. However, I'm having that surgery that got postponed until July 7th, where they're taking that mass out of my chest cavity and they're taking it out. And so I can't get my injections, and I needed them over a week ago. This humidity set in and my knee just went to hell. I do have some stuff. I got to get it done. I've got comfrey root that I have to grind down, and I'm going to make my stuff, and I'm going to apply it. I'm going to bandage it so it stays. I just got to do it. I don't have I had to order some castor oil, because I used the last of my castor oil in my hair stuff. So my hair is so soft. I'm going to wash it today, I think. I washed it 2 days ago, but I'm going to wash it today because it's still really like weighed down from the oils, all the oils. But when my castor oil comes in, I put too much. I accidentally poured too much cedar wood in the stuff, and it's overpowering, and it was burning my eyes, even though it was in my hair. So I'm going to pour it into a jar, and then like half, and then that way I have half the amount of cedar wood, and then I'll add more castor oil, and then I'll get the lavender oil in there, and then I'll have all the oils. Oh yeah, and I'll have the rosemary oil for it too. And yeah, and I need to order more argan oil. I just ran out of that as well. So I use the argan for my hair, my nails, and my skin. I'd have beautiful nails if I could just stop biting them. I mean, look at that. Look at the ones I'm not biting. They're coming along. These are doing pretty good too. This pinky was really long, and I had to file it down because it got hooked on something. But it's so strong. It is so strong. And typically somebody who's been biting their fingernails for 60 years, they wouldn't have a nail that's in that good of shape. So I got this really products. This is really cool. I buy some of the coolest stuff from Germany. Sorry, but if they make the good quality, that's where I'm gonna buy stuff from. And Germany is no longer our enemy, right? We're friends with them. So it's hard for me to get this thing open. So once I get it open, it's a wonderful product. Okay, so you open it, and it has these two little tools in it. And this is where I got the idea for my glasses. Look, my glasses is the same thing as this. How cool is that? But these little clippers, these suckers clip. They don't pull. You don't have to pull. They clip. They're sharp. They're small. They fit my hand really well. And they just get in there and they clean it up so I'm not doing it with my teeth. Ugh. And then it's bleeding and then it hurts and la 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 la. So I get in there, clip, clip, clip. It's just that it's hard for me to use my left hand to clip the right hand. It takes more time, much more patience. But anyway, that's what's in this really nice case. It makes it nice for when I travel. I just put it in my overnight bag. This little sucker is kind of sharp actually. And this is good for my toenails. Just cleans them right out. And then this is good for going down the sides of my toenails and even my fingernails. So I did buy this on Amazon. I try not to buy things from Amazon, but you know, I get free delivery and you know, stuff. There's an Amazon place just not far from me, so I can get some things in the same day or the next day, whatever. So, but I do still try to get stuff off of eBay too, to try to keep things balanced. But anyway, you know, there's no store in this town where I'm gonna find this. And specialty stores are closing down because of the mail stuff, the mail order stuff. So here's some great advice for fingernails. This and this, right? And then when that stuff has absorbed into my nails, like at nighttime before I go to bed, I'll put this on. But you need to let this soak in, and you need to just leave your nails alone and let them breathe and have nothing on them, and just let the nail breathe, right? That's how you get a healthier fingernail. But then when you want to just kind of help with the strengthening for a little bit, put this on, put a layer on, and then put another layer on, and just leave your nails alone and just let this strengthen your nails. I think the bottle has a different look now. It's more clear. I think this is an older bottle, or maybe this is the newer bottle. I don't know. I've got 3 bottles of this. One of them's almost empty. But it's called Nail Aid. But this, it's got keratin in it, and it's made in the USA, which is wonderful. I do try to buy made in the USA whenever I can, if I can find a good product. And then let me just reach around and grab, if it's not gonna be here, I'm gonna be sad. Here it is. Reach around and grab this. Yes, that's the laundry I need to put away. That's one of the things I need to get done. Okay, I got sheets and pillowcases and stuff like that, which can get put away real fast. But back to this. So I can't read this without my glasses. Okay. Made in Germany. It doesn't, where's the brand name? It just says Germany. It's called Diamond something, I think. Anyway, this is these nail files. These are the best nail files I've ever touched. When my old bestie and I were besties, I was doing her fingernails all the time. And I bought one of these, and it filed her nails so nicely. And it files my toenails real nice. And now that I'm growing nails, it files them very nicely. I don't get jagged edges. And really, this is the best nail file I've ever had the privilege of using. And then I have one of these. These are wonderful for after buff your nails. So there's no, you know, there's little tiny nail burrs after you file. And you need to I like the number 2, the smoothing one. You just smooth it. Just smooth that whole nail. Go over the top and then just smooth the nail out. And you got a nice smooth nail. You know, if you're watching TV, which I don't do, or if you're watching YouTube videos on your phone, that's what I'm doing most of the time. Not most of the time, but if I'm watching anything, it's typically a YouTube video. And I just do that. And then, see? Doesn't take long. It's nice and smooth. This fingernail is going to be the test of time in a sense. Because, let's see if I move this really close. Get some sunshine on it. Maybe, okay, maybe you can see that line? Yeah. It's trying to, like it was like a groove, like you could feel this groove in my fingernail. And the groove is going away and it's just flat now. But that line is still there, but it hasn't split. So if I can like really, where's my finger? There it is. If these products can prevent that from splitting, we know they're good products. But remember, it's usually never just one thing. It's usually a 5, 4, 3 things. So you need a good fingernail. You need a good cream. This is a really good cream. You can also just take some argan oil and massage it in there, or even castor oil. Then the next day after it's all soaked in and your fingernails got to breathe, put this on for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Put 2 or 3 coats on. You know, 1 coat a day. And then I just sit, and shea butter is also wonderful. And this was a gift, so I've been using this on my hands. And I rub this into my cuticle. I rub that into my cuticle, but I also rub this into my cuticle. And this is some nice stuff too. These little bottles, if you can get like, I mean, CVS and Walgreens sells them, but for a lot of money. And if you have a lot of money, then great. Support brick and mortar, but you can also get them cheaper on Amazon. You can get 2 or 3 or 4. And just do this. You know, if you're watching TV, just work on your hands, right? Okay. I bought some stronger strength hydrogen peroxide, and I've mixed it with some water, and I stuck my electric toothbrush in there, and oh my God, did it get my toothbrush so clean. Now, I replace the heads every month, but still there's germs and bacteria in that toothbrush, in the bristles. So I stick the bristles in there like once every few days and just sanitize. And then I have my traveling toothbrush, and I stuck that in there and sanitized it. And I feel the difference when I brush my teeth. It's like when you have a brand new toothbrush the first time you use it. It's like that. Just your mouth feels really clean and fresh. So that's something I'm also doing. Okay, I don't really know what else to talk about. I'm having a hard time getting my comfrey seeds to sprout. I had one seed that did sprout, but I think the birds ate it. Because I go out there and when I'm home, I check twice a day. I water it in the morning and then I check it again before, like in the evening. I like to go out on my balcony, and there was one little sprout, and then the next time I went out there, the little sprout was gone. So I think the birds are eating my sprouts. So I might have to bring it in. You know, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. I might have to bring it in and set it in front of this window so the birds can't eat my sprouts until they get an inch or two long, so the birds won't eat them. They've not eaten any other sprout of anything I've grown out there. Nothing. That's the only thing they've attacked. And am I seeing them do it? No, I'm not seeing them do it. But I see birds on my balcony more than I ever have, like flying around there. I wish they'd eat those fucking yellow jackets, because those are pissing me off. I've been battling yellow jackets out there for 4 years. There was a nest out there when I moved in here. I haven't really killed any of the yellow jackets necessarily, except for maybe 2. I'm trying to not kill them. I'm trying to dissuade them from being here, spraying them with eucalyptus oil. It makes them go away, but they come back. So I'm looking at them now. They're gonna build a new nest because I keep taking their nest and just throwing it out in the grass. And then the ants grab onto it and they have something to eat. So yeah, no. He hit the window trying to come in the door. You're not coming in here. All right. So raise your vibration. Do what brings you joy. What excites you? What brings you happiness? Do that. But also, be responsible and keep your dishes done and keep your house clean. And I say that to myself as well. I've been gone a lot pet sitting, and I've been ordering stuff, things I need to put together and make stuff. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. I was supposed to return a dress from Amazon. It was made in China, and I didn't realize that it was made in China. I thought it was made in the USA. They made it look like it was made in the USA. It wasn't. And now I was supposed to return it, and I wasn't home. I was pet sitting, and when I got home, I tried to return it, and the return date was passed. So, fuck. So now, after spending the money on a very beautiful dress that's too small for me, I have to give it away. Beautiful dress. Okay, enough said. Let's see what else matches my glasses. In a sense, it does, right? This is my phone case. These things really protect your phone, and then you just put that screen protector on, stick your phone in one of these, shut it up, it stays shut. And when your phone falls, it's got all this protection. I see people constantly with broken phone screens. $14. $14. Love and light, peace and goodwill to all. There is joy in the journey. Just do something that you enjoy. Get your hands in the dirt, hug a tree, walk outside in nature. I'm going to go watch the sunset out at the lake tonight, and I'm going to watch the full moon rise, the strawberry moon. I'm so excited with my friend Connie. Joy, joy, joy. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Right? We have the joy. Let the joy rise. Let yourself feel it. Lisa Lovestone out.